Hello, it's my face hidden behind my logo. It's Sam Rubinstein here from Second Renaissance Arts. How is everyone doing today? I hope you are staying warm if you're in the cold, and if you're in the warm, I'm hoping you're relaxing in nice air conditioning. But if you're in the cold, please stay warm because it is a little bit chilly out. Hello and welcome to Live from the Living Room, our bi-weekly open mic slash poetry reading slash whatever else weird stuff happens during this strange endeavor. I am your host, Samuel L. Rubinstein. And we have a very awesome show with a very cool lineup for everybody. So, if you don't know how this works, what's going to happen is we're going to bring on some amazing performers. They're going to wow you. They're going to dazzle you. They're going to express themselves and make you feel things you have never felt before. And then from there, we're going to open up the floor for an open mic. If you want to join the open mic, comment, register at our link that is in the description. However you need to get there, just let us know, and we will gladly help you join us. To get started, what I want to do is I'm going to go through some of our events coming up, give you guys some cool information, read like a poem or two because I feel like I should. If I don't, it'd be weird. And then we'll jump right in because you don't need to hear more from me. Let's be honest. So, gosh darn it. First off, on the 17th, we are doing a amazing podcast interview with Dr. Phyllis Hudson. She's amazing. She is a writer of the memoir Flying on Broken Wings. She works at Rutgers University. She is delightful. I've gotten the pleasure of being her student and working with her, and then having the luxury of having her on the show is going to be amazing. If you've never heard of her, this is like the person to talk to because she knows way too much about everything. Like, she's a guest that I'm very excited to have. Then, after that, on the 23rd of March, we will be having our next Live from the Living Room. The event will be posted on Facebook tomorrow. All the features will be announced tomorrow. It will be very exciting. I will be there because it's my job. And then on the 20th, we are having our next book club meeting. And then we are currently looking for guests for April. So if you are interested in joining us for April, it's really easy to come to these events. They're virtual. So, you know. And finally, because it's a plug and I have to plug myself because if I don't, what would I be doing with my life? My book, Candle Regaining Strength, has finally released. We are having a party for it in Bloomfield on the 20th. If you want to know more, let me know. I'll make sure you can come on out. It's going to be a raucous good time. And I think I got everything. Yeah. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to jump right in to some poem, like one or two, and then we'll go from there. Let's do one that I don't normally do because it'll make me happy. This is Marilyn. Marilyn was never going to admit it, but she was hungry, and her family had no way to give her more. There's too much pride there. No one would dare say there was a problem, so no one would try to solve it. There was a food pantry next door that sat full of fresh foods. And in truth, it will never get touched because everyone out here is hungry, but no one will ever admit it. Thank you. Thank you, Florence. And then I will do one more poem. Actually, I'm gonna do one dedicated to my mom because I love my mom. and it is International Women's Day. And so if I did not dedicate a poem to my mother, I would be a terrible son, and I'm not gonna not do that. So give me one second. I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see where it is. Perfect, found it. Nope, not that one. Hold on. Perfect. When I was 6, my first grade teacher told my mother that I am too different to be successful. Could you imagine that? The fear, the pain, the understanding that your child could never amount to anything. And I think about this moment often. I think about how my mother reacted, how she stood her ground, heard the sound of my drum in the distance, and tried to understand how and where I was marching. Even after other teachers told her the same thing, after doctors, after diagnoses, after all of this anxiety, after watching me break many, many drumsticks, but keep marching in some strange direction, I was able to do it. And it's easy now, knowing that no matter how far I go, there was always someone who was willing to march with me. I don't know if my mom's watching it, but I love her. This is it. This is what I'm gonna say there. Um, I'm a little bit like all over the place because I'm so excited for all of our phenomenal features. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring out our first one so you could meet them and hear about their awesome life. Here we go. Artorius Renee Augustine is the host of Lamp Black's Instagram live series, The Inky Bulb, and a non binary they them queer performance poet, filmmaker, and educator from Wanamassa, New Jersey. Their work focuses on transformation and community, and their hope is for their art to serve as a catalyst in the liberation of all people from oppressive systems. Artorius is an MFA candidate at Rutgers University, Newark, and an artist in residence with the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, where they were co-artistic director of the NJ-PAC's 2021 performance, Phronesis, a focus on frequency. Everybody, welcome to the stage, my friend, Artorius Renee. Hi!
Hi, y'all.
How's it going? Welcome. I'm very happy to see you, even though we spoke before you were here, like in front of the camera. Like, hi.
Hi. I'm very happy to be here. As I am bored in the house bored for the next couple of weeks. It's fun to get to do things like this.
That's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the night. So
I'm not sorry. I'm not. It's really just it's funny.
So without further ado, you've heard my voice too much. Take it away.
Thank you. Good evening, y'all. I have a few poems for you this evening. I think we're just gonna go titles and into them. Because I would like to explain these poems, but I feel like explaining them afterwards makes better sense. Yeah, I'm gonna stand by that. Okay. Player 2 playlist and prayers. Uno house rules shift from location to location, but heed this warning swiftly. Do not play card games with hurt misfits, with those that eye timestamps and star patterns, cracking cryptics a monstrous pastime. They have learned to question their shifting realities time and time again, their cranium sharpening the knives of worthy, dressed in distraction, the draw of wilds and reversals of countenance. A shimmering glamour to disarm the draft beneath the sternum from sight. The only etching that remains a human encephalon, lantern drunk off laughter, crawling toward the crested deliverance. Confidently hand over the bigger hand. The hour a steeple synchronized in payoffs. The sun threatens to rise furthermore. Between a vacuum and a firecracker, equal potential for damage closed in the cupboard. 4/4, a natural rhythm their breath finds. Lock stones and a loaded muse shift the tide on a vindictive elk. Consider how quantum leap and miracle are synonyms. No matter the realm, a portal brain needs no use of computers. When the tantrum ensues, apology their last chewed straw to hide their survival synapses. Um, I love a good game of Uno and the absolute monstrous activity it can cause. It's just like one of those games that you ban in the family eventually. Like, we're not allowed to play Monopoly together because tables have been flipped over. Um, the next one. Do flowers bloom with the petals they're born with? Or do they keep unraveling until it's time for the wilting? I ask because this is the third instance I have to learn to walk again. A consequence in gaining a particular knowledge too early. They say, with dawn comes healing, a hopeful conundrum of much needed rest. Sometimes you must say no to the gallery of right now. The settling rays declared this sky theirs, and the cost of observance rises. Who's to say the rock's implosion wasn't beautiful? Something finally worth sowing. Um, My thesis advisor would like me to believe that I am a love poet. And I would like to rebuke this. I just think I am a little obsessed with how nature reflects human behavior at the moment. You are under no obligation to forgive me, but no, I apologize nonetheless. Not for the way I left, no. I am sorry for how endurance and grit have become praiseworthy. I had both in spades, and still the well of will runs dry, to no one's surprise. I checked the calendar and cleared the obligations for eternity. So when the rain starts, take off your shoes and step in the mud of my memory. Remark on all the things I chose not to do, things you'd wish I'd accomplish under shared surnames, prayers for this soul long unanswered, the calls of pious peace and purpose. I'm sure fate's line will curl like scissors on ribbon, yet, you know, don't you? Every confession of exhaustion minimized in omens of just needing sleep. The investment shot from the beginning. As the body is always deficient to its desires, sometimes strength isn't continuing to suffer. Rather sever the Ouroboros clean from its vicious cycle. Hang up when you have nothing to say. Follow the floating filaments clouding that funky world. You know the one. That means future. Something like tomorrow raises its hands in defense. For fallen trees and derailed trolleys are an argument sound cannot be heard without witness. Oh, forget this one puts me in my feelings. Funky. Okay. I have two more. Oh, now I'm in my feelings. Okay. Full moon bathing. Assuming the clock reflects your alignment, the grand 22:22 and general realities agree. Yet Badu quotes Plato by way of Socrates, and my father just wants the lawyer. These memories are fickle. But where do you believe people perceive you? The fool's journey comes across the hermit at some point, the need to retreat and reevaluate. The offerings made, oil, silk, and honey aches. Pleasure, pain, passion, another toxic pharaoh bop, and I love it all the same, engulfed in lotus plumes. The queen mother's kiss delivered by the scribe, clearing the ringing upon caps and gowns arrival. All shanty towns were once towers, and the cycle continues, all bright ideas born of necessity. Um, I come from a really cool family that have really regular community building jobs. And I have a community building job, but it's definitely not regular. And all the time, my dad would love for me to put this philosophy degree to use and just be a lawyer, but I outright refuse. So here we are. um, my last poem is one of the collection from the poems I'm writing between a friend and I, and they're all monikered for the first man because his name is Adam. So, okay. Platonic love poem for the first man, cosmology of liminal. In the end, a clockmaker calls himself father of the shifting in seasons, claim blizzard born are bound to grow from decay like wild mushrooms. So we sit at the cliff's dwelling of Saturn's fountain with the fickle rings and icky iris, awaiting impossible answers accountable for innumerable atrocities. The truth is, very few things have kept us gravity destined. Even as I leave lipstick stains on your glass of Pinot Noir, we both know amethyst and lapis lazuli metamorphose under undisturbed pressure. Before the comet's rain, gaze to and through the looking glass at the silver spoon splitting rock, hatching the magic hour. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, that was amazing.
Hi.
It has been forever since I've heard you, and it brought me so much joy.
Thank you.
I got a question for you.
I may have an answer.
What are your messages you want to tell the people? What do you got coming up? What do you want to say? What are the things that you care about?
Okay, so add a JPEG. Sorry, I love this project so much. The fact that I get to work on City Verses for the last 2 years has been nothing short of a blessing. I love this work. Okay, so this April on Wednesday, so we're going to compete with you a little bit. We are doing a workshop reading series with all Nork poets that are going to come and read during the reading series. It'll be Wednesday nights from 6 to 8:30, and that'll be really fun. The Inky Bulb was taking a pause while I heal from surgery, but we will be back in June talking to more bookstagrammers and book talkers about their process on selecting Black literature. What else am I doing?
I have a question from someone.
Yeah.
Where is this workshop taking place?
They will be virtual. Hold on. I actually will pull up the sign up and leave it in the chat.
Yeah, please. We'll share the crud out of it.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to mention something that we were supposed to be doing anyway. It's okay. I'll mention it later.
What else am I supposed to be doing? I think
don't
that's
know.
it right now. I'm taking a pause to heal mostly.
Understandable. So thank you so much for taking time out of, everything going on to join us for tonight. It was a pleasure having you and hearing you because, I think someone in the chat said you have such a relaxing cadence and you have such a way with how you speak. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
We'll chat later, okay?
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Ah, I'm full of excitement over this. I want to go to these things. I'm not from Newark, but I still want to see them. Um, I forgot to mention this. This is a weird thing, but currently, Second Renaissance Arts is working on creating a new um, monthly writing workshop with um, help from a company called Bury the Hatchet out of Bloomfield. We are working on creating a monthly workshop called Hatchets and Haikus. It's going to be an evening combining axe throwing and poetry. It's going to be a blast. If you are interested, let me know, and I will send the link to the Google form to tell us all about it. Um, I just didn't want to forget. So that was Notorious Renee. We're going to move right on to our next poet. Um, Here we go. Jules with a Z is a Jersey girl who cannot be too far from the shoreline, decent coffee, or an everything bagel. She has been writing poetry since she was in middle school when she was first published in a children's anthology. Jules completed an international writers program at NUI Galway, Ireland, and received a BA in English and a film minor at Montclair State University. Influenced by multiple art forms, her writing delves into everyday experiences and the complexity of emotions. Over the past 2 years, Jules has performed her poetry at numerous virtual and in person poetry events. She's grateful for the experiences this poetic journey has taken her so far, and we are grateful for having her. Welcome to the stage, Jules with a Z.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
It's going. It's a busy month and it just started.
Yeah, it's wild. It feels like it should be over by now. It's still early March.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, I'm not gonna hold myself here any longer. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay, I'm ready. So I have some poems for you guys. I probably won't talk too much about them. I mean, I like my listeners and readers to kind of get whatever they get out of the poem. Because that's just how I feel about it. But this is a recent poem that I wrote called "The New Colossus Part 2." 30 minutes in the cold, my gloveless hands tingle, and the wind attempts to whisk my body into New York Harbor. Lady Liberty towers in the distance, unaffected by the shifting sea, moving landscape, or weather patterns. After all, she is used to being struck by lightning and holding back fire. Her sharp curves hidden beneath her robe, she is every woman, unnerved, conceived in Paris, only to come of age on American soil. She was originally imagined as an Egyptian queen. Libertas stands above a platform inscribed with a Jewish woman's Italian sonnet. Her once brown skin, now patina, since she broke free from her chains, yet the invisible ties keep her in place. From the Jersey side, seems like she has turned her back on US. Freedom has become a commodity like iron and copper. The green giant seems pocket sized, a personal Jesus among the tides, but she cannot bring Emma Lazarus back from the dead to write the New Colossus Part 2. Too tired, too poor, yearning to breathe, she needs relief. It is up to US to flip the script, to right the wrongs, to edit his story, and free the flame fastened at her fingertips. Okay. My next poem, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, I have a poem that was kind of inspired by Keyport, New Jersey. A particular pub in Keyport, New Jersey. This is called Green. Marked safe from the Ides of March, St. Patrick's Day parade shenanigans, horseflies biting bare ankles on the pier, Captain Morgan's drunk on solitude and salt water, wobbly-legged landlubbers falling for the ocean. Boston Celtics on a big screen in the pub. Holiday Reef has worn out its welcome. Christmas lights stay lit all year long. Lucky. Jaded bamboo plants slouched in the corner. Bartender reeks of Newport Lights and envy. Moldy Irish soda bread, 86th, of course, with Jameson and ginger loaded like Uncle Penny bags. Guinness stout and tall, rambling. Slancha. Empty Heineken bottles lined up, rejected suitors, lime rind fizzes in your spilled Corona. Light breaks through the window and the trees to steal my reflection. My eyes are greenest when they lock with yours. Okay. Next poem is one of my favorite poems. Because as much as I don't like living in New Jersey, I have a lot of pride for New Jersey, and I feel like the feeling's mutual among a lot of people. But this is Jersey Girl. When people ask me where I'm from, I say I live in the Garden State. That is to say, I live in a state of mind. So I plant seeds of my emotions and in the empty spaces I can find and hope that they will grow into something that could be seen from the West Coast. The soil under my feet is more blessed than most, so I live on the best coast. Now, no disrespect to my sister states. I'm a visit when we can't relate. When Jersey acts up, I might need to pack up those fists pumped with rage. My accent gets heavier than my step. When I step at a state lines, I might step at a line, but I'm gonna leave a stamp on this earth. As Jersey people climb like ivy up brick walls, even if it falls, turns to rubble, you better believe you're gonna hear that babble, and it's gonna be in our dialect. Prune my roses and hydrangeas, hope the honeybees will see my flowers before the aphids, all the while making sure that I remember what my name is. Hope that the same bee will return to drink my nectar and help my garden grow. See, I am more than just a flower. I have so much more to offer. I am not just a supply, but a fountain that keeps on giving, and I keep watering my roots because it's my religion. I have been guilty of watering myself down for those far too less deserving, and I found myself at that shoreline asking myself, who am I serving? The Atlantic holds my ankles in its clutches, and I am caught in the current like a gull in a sea breeze or a fish in a net. I feel like I can't fight my fate. But this too shall pass, and as for beginning again, it's never too late. As I feel the riptide tug on my insides, I have to take everything in stride. I'm from Jersey, and we bleed differently. So as long as I feel pain, I know I'm still alive. I was born with that hustle spirit. So it's storming outside, I'll wait. Sit in this rain until it dissipates, until the sun shines and the dried sweat on my skin salts the earth again. I am destined for greatness. Excuse the lateness. I appreciate your patience. Okay, my next poem is Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. As the legend goes, folding 1,000 origami cranes will make your dreams come true. So I began to count fitted sheet corners and dog-eared pages of books I'd never get through, included turned over tables and upside down smiles, not realizing that folding myself over and over had made me more versatile. Those 1,000 calculated creases evolved into 1,000 tiny pieces, were crazy glued back together and became 10 times better. When you threw me under the bus, I survived because I smoothed my figure so I would appear palm size, folded myself into a cootie catcher and predicted my own future. I didn't just find my path, I became the roadmap, facing the storm head on. I picked up the aftermath. I proved you dead wrong, but you wouldn't know the half of it. I had learned how to shapeshift over the years, stored dried tears in my fists that never bled from my tender wrists. You were cold, but I somehow managed to resist getting caught in that snowdrift. This salt cellar still stands as I became bay, turned myself into the roadway so you wouldn't be in my way. You had convinced me to minimize myself on a diet of lies. You need me. You love me. Only tongue-in-cheek reciprocated. Hesitantly, still I waited, ingested the toxins in the milkweed, cut off my oxygen until I couldn't breathe. Keep her belly full. But don't tell her she's beautiful. She might transcend after the fall, and you'll never see her again after all. Why would a butterfly stay a caterpillar if she knew that a monarch lived inside her? Okay. Take it down a little bit. This is Shadow Play. Shadow Play. I've traded autumn hues for muted winter blues. The shortest day of the year is still the longest without light. My shadow stands tall at noon, casts itself as a main character, makes me its unwilling host, and at midnight tiptoes past the moon. Feeding on my fears, following my footsteps, appearing under lampposts, calling heads or tail, lights, expecting me to invite it inside, carry it across the threshold where it can sink its fangs into my flesh under the guise of a cold blanket. Should I be surprised my shadow expected me to thank it? I tried to drown it once on a shore trip, waist deep, wave goodbye, let it slip into the sea, hoping it would forget me, but it returned, attached to my hip. Think that permanent Peter Pan stitch. My shadow always shows up unexpected, conjuring up the past and looking for validation. It tries to cloak me in timidness and regret and takes my silence as an invitation to play a game of chess. But it always moves second, pulls a fool's mate, and I am its pawn. My shadow checks in 2 moves, repeating the play until the rise of dawn. And I have one more. As soon as I find it. If you do anything with photography, you know that there's a certain time of the day where you're going to get the best pictures, and it's referred to as the golden hour. So that would either be at sunrise or sunset. So kind of inspired by that, I wrote this poem. And I'd like to dedicate it to my mom because I believe she's watching tonight. So this is for you, Mom. Golden hour. Listen, I am no longer a project on hold. I am a work in progress. If I took a loss to gain a little, it's all part of the process. I'm still fighting off demons so demeaning they shrunk my feelings until I forgot my true purpose. What I mean is, I pray that what I'm manifesting is ready for me. Pray that it wraps its arms around me like poetry. There is nobody else like me who can see how I see, who can be what I can be, who can love just like me so effortlessly. I'm not expecting handouts or pity. I'm still doing my penance, and that sunrise and sunset still look the same from a distance. That pretty sand on the shore, it didn't just happen. Each tiny diamond met with much resistance and still stands every day. Like me, as the product of persistence. I am adaptable to the ebbing and the flowing as it is necessary for growing, still anxious of the unknowing of what this life plans on throwing at me. But I will not be the period at the end of a sentence. I am not that punctual. I plan on being late for my own funeral, and that is without pretense. I rather imagine myself in ellipsis that eclipses any sign of ceasing. I see a moment for the taking, so I'm seizing it. If it fails, I'm not going to crumple the thought. I'm going to flatten out those creases. I'm going to release it. Remember, when one door closes, another one opens. So I'm gathering those broken pieces and turning them into something that appeases me, not you. This is me fighting for my life because it's something that I have to do. And that's it.
Thank you so much for being here. Every time I was like, oh, that's the line I'm gonna bring up when I come back on. You just kind of kept raising the bar. Like I was just like every moment was like, oh, okay, that's an amazing line. Oh, we're gonna just keep doing a better one. Okay, cool. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna say, first off, as someone from New Jersey, thank you for expressing the absolute disdain and love that I have at the same time. It brings me a lot of joy. The next thing is, as you can see, it was told that Mom heard that, so
Yay!
And then, why would she stay a caterpillar if inside there were a monarch? It's such a good line. All right, before I get too distracted, what do you got to tell the people? What's going on? What's coming up?
Okay, so there's like I have things going on. I mean, like, you know, Sam, like, you find me at any open mic, like, randomly, I'll just be there. If I could get there, I'm there. whether it's in person or online. Let's see. On the 20th of this month, I will be a feature at Leading by Mission. It's a women empowerment event. Um, so that's cool. Um, let's see. That metamorphosis poem. I'm actually working on a book. Um, and maybe if I say it out loud, maybe it'll happen. So I'm working on poems for that. And yeah, I'm just going to a lot of open mics and stuff. So
I get it. Speak it into reality. Thank you for taking time to be here. And I'm having I had a blast. You know what? That's it.
thank you
Um,
for having me, Sam.
yeah. All right. We will chat more later. Once again, that was Jules with a Z. Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Oh my god. It's just like one after another. We're just gonna keep raising the bar tonight and keep challenging all of us with all these amazing poets. Um, and because why not? What else? What else are we gonna do? It's a Wednesday night and it is snowing outside. Um, with that said, let's bring out our next poet. Our next poet is Amira Shabazz Bilal. Uh, she is an award winning poet from Newark, New Jersey. She's the 2021 recipient of the Maria Mazziotti Gillen Literary Service Award and the 2022 recipient of the Every Kind of Lady Her Story Award for Poetry. Amira has a unique talent for telling stories through poetry and visual arts. Amira Shabazz Bilal is a poet, visual artist, teacher, photographer, and the founder and facilitator of When Women Speak and When People Speak, the author and illustrator of Breathing Through Concrete, with works featured in publications Every Kind of Lady and Her Sister Pages, Volume 1 and 2, Philadelphia Says Black Lives Matter, Womb of the Violet 2, American Muslim Journal, Soup Can Magazine Issue 2, Life in Quarantine Global Pandemic, and the Pepsi Poetry Anthology. She has to credit the advocacy and support of women in the arts and the publishing of over 300 students. Her mantra is poetry isn't poetry unless it's spoken. Word. Welcome to the stage. Hi! Oh, you are muted. You're muted.
I'm like, wow, who you talking about? Who's that lady? Who is she?
That's you. That's oh, well,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
welcome. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here, and I appreciate you asking. And I also appreciate the platform. You had some powerful, powerful poets up here today. This
Yeah,
this, this stage is blazing here.
this has been
Yeah.
quite the show, and I'm gonna let you keep it going. So when you're ready, take it away.
All right, then. I'm going to share some work with y'all. I'm going to share some work. Call us not what we carry. Tabula rusa, clean slate, clean that slate. I want it. Don't call us what we carry. And what do we carry? I feel wounded by it. It's heavier now than ever. I want to put it down. I want to put it down. I want to put it down. Don't call me the non emotional one. My heart bleeds from it. Emotions. Every day I look at them, the children, and feel them without touching. I want to put it down. I want to put it down. I promise you, I was cut. I was cut out of fresh, darkened, but loving womb. 'Cause feet was kicking and ripping, kicking and ripping, kicking and ripping through, calling death, hearing with small ears cries of no more. This was more than a 16-year-old could bear. Womb ripping, fingers hugging flesh together, gripping other nightmares of minds, and bad luck stares too. I'm sure maybe this is why she swore never to hug me, the source in this life. I screamed my pain into being through her. She snapped back, hold out your hands, hold out your hands, she screamed. She screamed back. I grabbed on. Now that is why it is so heavy. We, my kids and me, are it. Burden carriers, we never hug each other. We love us, I swear, but we carry the no hug DNA. Scratch from that wound one day, we'll put it down. Gonna hug someone today. I'm not my 16-year-old child mother. It's not too heavy for me. Hug me. Poem. I mourn parts of yesterday, but breathe on water with my ancestors. Feet lowered, toes immersed enough to gulp down swells of salted memories. You know black folks can't swim though. Casting fishing nets, catching souls that have long passed away. They wade past me. Wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade. In the wake of yesterday's, tomorrow's, and today's, you know black folks be calling on ancestors. Tears may drop in the memory pot. But when we meet together, y'all, the Lord has connected us. She whispers. She whispers to her and her and her and her and her too. Seagulls devour sharks who learn quickly to follow our blood. The whispers into souls cleanse us, carry us, save our lives. You know black folks always be loud. They be covering whispers from ancestors' shouts over waves, over seas. Wade in the water, children. I mourned yesterday. Today, I hold stories, memories overseas for others to see. Poem. For those whose lives never look good in stories, newspapers or Twitter feeds. For those whose mamas be babies' mamas, surviving with only the beautiful, needful things. Food stamps, grandma's kitchen tops, corner store juices, and cans of beans with orange pop, and still be trying to wean glory into queens. For those whose names go unspoken, I could name them here, but this verse rhyme would be broken. We'll say your name though. We'll say it. We'll sing you from our hearts. Then we'll sew together remembrance beads on other parts and hang them from our bellies and body parts. Your Holocaust is true and will never be forgotten. I can't lie, this poem is for the following. The girls with froze, the girls with silver ring toes, the girls with colors in their hair, red and green, golden crowns, waist beads, ships that call sneakers, all brands, all colors. The girls with hair extensions, for the weave girl, the weed girls, to your herbal essence, cultivating your blessing girls, for the supremely rap girls, for the church hat wearing girls, for the weed girls who have no idea of medicinal gods, incense, black lights, velvet posters, warm, full, lint dots in cool basements turned hot. For the girls who found solace in white cracked cream, burning edges to keep up with her dreams. For the girls who set light skin and saw light skin as good, turning caramel tones into shines, but never looked black skins, never looked black skins, never reached black skins until Lupita and Shonda Rhimes. For the girls who called out red, high yellow, grinned until mulatto was better. For the sister who knew the beauty long before James Brown made them proud. For the girls who made Malcolm scream, who taught you that? Who taught you that? Then found they too could dream. For the girls who learned to stand tall, all the while bruised from falls. For the girls who made China rich, long nails acrylic only. For the girls whose lashes don't belong to them, but cling on lids while beads on heads smack faces, swift neck jolts and finger waving. Yes, you girl, yes, you. For the church girl, for the hijabi girl, for the natural girl, for the deeply uncolonized Pan-African girl, wrapping her toes around continents, looking for where she belongs. For the girls on beauty magazines, for the girls on reality TV, for the girls who stayed home, for the girls no one is looking for because they've been long gone, for the girls who made their mamas proud, for the girls with no mama yet they managed to stand out in the crowd. For you, girl, yes, you. This world is your oyster. They all feeding off of you, walking like you walk and doing like you do, sitting in suns, gathering your melanin form, roasted but still spitting at you through tongues, patting booties, thighs, lips, and hips, pointing at your sway all the way down to your fingertips. To you, girl, yes, you. Your hair be wrapped like sun goddesses. No strips, no strips, no strips, No one strips souls like you with just one glare. No one raises generations from leftover things, only learning later to recognize them kings and queens. To you, girl, yes, you. You just know they love your goddess milk. They love the way you walk and talk, just how you built. They know you be from God, but they still say you carry the curse. Too bad it wasn't bad enough not to want you to be their wet nurse. Well, we say your name, we say your name, we will say your name to the girl who has everything, built from what may seem like nothing. You, my girl, yes, you are everything. Poem. We should have told you. When your sons leave home, they leave to live, not to fear. We didn't teach them that. We taught them to live. It's not their fault that they laid down their shields. Face suns so bright with hearts open wide, living lives of pride. Caribbean beats, African swells and feet. Soweto sings from souls far away, holding the same songs. Southern red clay soil, dumplings, cobblers, fried chicken and collard smells. Yum, gumbo, gumbo, gumbo. Beat, beat, beat. Ya drums, ya drums, ya drums. Heartbeats, heartbeats that connect. Who gave them dreams? I swear we have taught them to know that second misbeat of normalcy, but he never belonged to he. They hear fireworks, we jump in fear of shots. It makes our mother's blood run hot. We should have told them, you are not the same. You are not the blame. What's against you? The world, God damn it, the world. We taught you to win. We should have told you, game tilt at any time. This poem is over. Too much hurt to rhyme. I should have told you. I should have told you. The game is rigged. Don't leave home. This is the end of this poem. Security. Security. There's a boy down in my class. He comes late every day when he comes. He brings me cocoa and chocolate chips when he comes. He he laughs out loud when nothing, I mean nothing seems funny when he comes. At 5 minutes after the bell, he came, screaming the national anthem as if it was his birthright. He came. He came in hungry most days, but after the breakfast we gave was gone, we saved. We saved his with a little neat napkin he would place under his chin. When he came, when he came, math would begin with him going to the boys' room and returning just in time to change for reading, only to do the same routine. Exit stage right. He passes. He passes through life. The boy, he came. Poem. And for my last one, he played that sad, raggy tune like a musical fool. Sweet blues, coming from a black man's soul, old blues. Ain't nothing there a righteous woman would choose, but you know they gonna dig them heels in and let life with him ensue. Black girls' toes see suns when they tan, they bodies rubbing close to somebody's bad boy, sometimes somebody's man. Singing low baritone bass of joy, he chewed them keys like they was sweet tobacco, black jack. All the while he's smiling and whispering, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh. She smiled with teeth that were weak from biting after his neck, but she sat there. She let him back in anyway, bringing the same old song like he ain't done nothing wrong. Now listen, listen. She sings them blues now. High keys of blissful misery. Ain't nothing new. Hey, BB, ain't that how you kings do? Poem. That's it.
How is it that we are just constantly getting the best of the best out here? Oh.
It's your show, Sam. You invited us.
Yeah, but like in my brain, I'm like, yeah, these people they're gonna be great. And then You guys, like, just every single human that shows up just blows me away.
For sure, you have a powerful platform tonight. I was looking at everybody going, wow, wow, wow. This is great, Sam. I hope you never stop.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm having a blast with everybody that's been here so far. So Mira, while I got you here, what do you got going on? What do you want to tell people about?
Well, it is, in fact, Women's History Month, and I do run a platform called When Women Speak, founder and facilitator. We have a virtual online show. Any woman, I should say, can sign up on March the 15th, streaming live on Facebook. We also have on March the 18th, When Women Speak, will be performing live and in person at the Nimbus Dance Theater in Jersey City. Come enjoy the live performances and some art, buy some art. There are many women artists being featured there, vocally, and artists who have work on display. On 324, we have When People Speak. Myself and James Ellaby host that production. And on March the 23rd, which Jules forgot to mention, she and I will be participating and appearing and performing with the Bergen County Players under the banner of When Women Speak. Once again, it will be truly amazing. And thank you again, Sam, for inviting me onto your platform.
Thank you for being here. All right, we'll talk to you later. This has been just a phenomenal show, and I am so happy to have all these amazing people come in and just be so powerful. Like, that's really it. There's a lot of just power tonight, and I'm here for it. So, with that said, because no one needs to hear from me, we're gonna hear from our next poet. Our next poet needs no introduction, but we're gonna give them one. Haru Stewart, otherwise known as Ross Haru, is a Newark, New Jersey born poet, artist, creative entrepreneur, and elementary school teacher, a lifelong writer with years of performance, hosting, and producing experience. Ross Haru is not only a profound artist, but a multidimensional presence and contribution to the region's creative arts and literary realms. In late 2020, Ross Haru published his latest and most celebrated collection to this date, The Rubicon, under his small literary press, Rebel Ink Publishing. Beyond the creative arts, Haru teaches fifth grade English language arts and dedicates himself and works towards social advocacy, often aligning his creative ventures with causes, initiatives, and other opportunities to create lasting social impact with the same fervor and intention he allots to his work as an artist and entrepreneur. Like I said, I don't need to give this guy an introduction, but 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the stage. It's Ross Haru.
Hey Sam, good evening. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Thanks
for having me.
I know you had a pretty busy day, but I'm glad you were able to make it.
Absolutely. I saw like Amira was saying, I saw the lineup, and just from what I knew of your company here, I knew that if I could make it, I was going to be. So I'm glad everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
It made my day when you were able to log in. So without further ado, take it away.
Great. So first off, to all the poets and artists who were here, you folks were phenomenal. I'm sorry I wasn't able to catch everyone, but it's definitely been an inspiring night just so far from what I was able to catch. I'm going to be reading from the Rubicon, as Sam mentioned in the bio. Sam, thanks again for having me. And I think I'm going to just use my time reading the first chapter of poems just to give you you folks some feedback. So the Rubicon is two stories told simultaneously. And through the Rubicon, I'm telling the story of poet educator Ross Haru here in 2020 America, but I'm simultaneously attempting to tell the story of Roman statesman and general Julius Caesar. And so if at times you're not sure which world you're in, or if you feel like the worlds are meshing, that means the poems are doing their job. And so this chapter that I'm going to read from, the chapter is called Imperium. And imperium was the legal term for Roman generals who had the ability to raise armies and legions on their own. And having imperium also protected them from being prosecuted for crimes that regular civilians could commit. So with no further ado, here is Imperium from the Rubicon. This first poem is called Outbreak / The Crossing. This is the start of civil war. This is a commentary on the carnage unraveling within since mother was split on the 13th of a Friday in fall, meaning this is the hall of records in which you will find the catalogs of marches I've led at times against my own right mind, meaning this is the chronicle of an olive branch alchemized into a noose. The tragic tale of a dove frantically gasping for air, the future declared dead. My iniquities, suited, booted, and spread in homicidal formations, awaiting the trumpets to sound the beginning of the slaughter, meaning this is the genesis of the genocide, and I am a bad joke. Waiting to be rewritten, I am fruit forbidden from all the tongues of ones wishing to remain safe. I am the escape room with really no escape at all. I am Julius Caesar's Achilles heel. I am when keeping it real ain't right. I mean, when keeping it real is really, really wrong. I mean, I am the song your grandma told you only fast kids dance to. I am the sweet that will leave you sour. I will devour all of the flowers in your garden as pretty things with potential and possibility at life seem to be the only things that satiate my appetite. And I promise to ruin you if you let me. I promise to be the worst thing you've ever loved. I promise to be the pool of tears of which you thought you were prepared to wade, the charade of escapades you thought could persuade you into some sort of sanity. I promise to be everything you never wanted, wrapped in everything that has ever delivered you satisfaction. I promise to be your doom. I promise to consume you. The moment you place me at your lips and light me, I promise to lift you. I promise to leave you high, handled, and helpless, unless you are ready to discard with me now. I promise to ruin you. That is Outbreak / The Crossing. This next poem is entitled A Cautionary Tale About Stones. It's one of my favorite. I am the stone that should forever be refused. I am the fiasco, fabricated, attempting to take shape behind the facade of pretty poems. I am the pretty that is poison. I am the cautionary tale told about poets. I am the shine that will blind you. Please take caution. Take care is all I have to spare for you is the allure of things, the charm of the sirens, a price tag that you'll ultimately wish that you could not afford, a perfume that will never amount to more than the stench of bad memories. I am the morning after the party. MORUNING, I am the morning after the party. Something like what is left behind from destructive combinations of ill intentions and wrong decisions. I am ambition unhinged. I am the binge that does not sleep. I am a crude apology forever unable to weep. I am a coming storm sick of its own forecast, a lasting trauma with a talent for leaving impressions upon the life you used to know. I wasn't asked for and I know it. Great republics have fallen because of me. Families have been introduced to carnage because of my sword's thirst for glory. A story told for thousands of years that still ends in the same bloody mess. Blessed and obsessed with the power to rearrange your calendar. I can assure you your days are numbered should you decide not to heed my warnings. I'm worn out. My eyes have swallowed more than bones can carry. My liver can tell you stories that my leaders would shame. My name has been many things across the years, though it has never really mattered. They say all is fair in love and war. But what they always failed to tell you is that semantics is all that ever really separates the two. What they always failed to tell you is there is no act amongst mortals that can't be summarized as an act of one or an act of the other. What they always failed to tell you is what they always failed to tell you is all that decides which is where you are standing when the sword is unsheathed. What they always failed to tell you is that indeed what you love will always find a way to break you. What they always failed to tell you is there are no winners in war. All that's left from the siege are the dead and the traumatized, the dead and the traumatized, the dead and the traumatized. I tell you, I am the stone. Ask Goliath about my damage. Ask Debo what a brick can do. Ask them both how dirt tastes. Ask them both if the sleep is any more peaceful after the fall. Ask yourself if you are really, really ready to cast the die and risk it all on a stone already warning you to never entrust it with your dreams. Never build your sandcastles upon me, because when the battle lines have been broken and the sunrise has come to greet the earth at dawn, all that will be left are the dead and the traumatized, the dead and the traumatized, the dead, and the traumatized. That poem, again, is a cautionary tale about stones. This next poem here is a short poem that I really enjoy, and it's entitled A Poem About Things I'm Not Sure of. I have a confession to make. I'm not quite so gentle most of the time. Excuse me, I'm not quite so gentle all of the time. Most of the time, though, I'm okay with this. You see, my mother's first name is Patricia. Her last name is a city in Italy, and though she has never been, I was raised by Black women with coliseums in their bones sometimes. Sometimes I write poems from places where pressure and persuasion go to dance beneath the moon. I admit I am never quite able to get a firm footing over the rhythm of the music, though on the other hand, my pen seems to be capable of handling panic quite well, and well, frankly, sometimes it makes me jealous. Sometimes I try and sleep and I can hear the ghastly gallop of a gladiator's horse. I lie awake wondering if the stampedes I feel in my chest can reveal just why I know so much about the fall of empires. I toss and turn, hoping my pen can be as lethal as a Roman soldier's sword, and then I can turn myself with why. Why I choose to compare something that gives me life to an instrument designed to draw blood. I question, what is it about blood that makes me pour into these lines? What is it about glory that makes us seek out our destruction? What is it about the soil that makes us feed it dead bodies? And that is a poem of things I'm not sure of. This next poem is called The Streets of Home, or a poem about Newark. I am a proud son of the city, and that lineage and connection means a lot to my past, present, and it's going to mean a lot to my future. And so I'm excited to be reading this poem, and it's another one of my favorites. Let the headlines tell it. There is never a wrong day for somebody somewhere to catch a body where I'm from. In defense of the truth, you let me tell it. And I will tell you such a statement isn't really all that inaccurate. A punchline packed with enough potent truth to crack your funny bone. I can promise you the streets of home are no joking matter. Name the smoke you want. I know a block that'll bring it. Streets are always watching, yet nobody ever seen it. A city well acclaimed for both its infamy and fame. You know the name. I dare you say it. Pronunciation of the word is the test of your survival. Known to champion your cause or for picking off your brightest idol. What's in the water? What's in the water? X marks the spot of the ballroom plot. What's in the water? What's in the water? City man, what's the plan? What you keeping in your closet? Corrosion of the soul, now the weapon is the faucet. What's the cost of current losses? A city worth the blues, but what else is city news? Camera crews point and shoot like how a gangster makes its bones. A taker's itch for good times will leave your happy days postponed. Where I'm from is no television sitcom. Hunger pains and quest for change will make a man do anything but sit calm. The wrong line cross can have your jaw rearranged. A natural attraction to flames. We always just around the corner from a riot or rebellion. Always just up the block from disseminating our latest set of ass whoopings. Only 5 minutes away always from catching the next come up. Only ever needing half a reason to activate a run up. I love it here. Contribute a new arc to your novel. Solidify with brute force what a pen can't clean. Pivotal yet far from pristine. The rawest and realest glimpse of a world you've never seen. Black hoodies and mesquines, bean pies and final calls. Brothers and sisters out to get it will turn your corner block into a strip mall. Where I'm from, I tell you the streets of home are like the streets of Rome. And as a native son, I'm here to assure you that the bigger I get, the more you should be concerned with me. For what reason, pick one, for I'm sure they're all valid. Brilliant, beautiful, barbarous, and otherwise not always safe, even lethal on the wrong day. My point is, the headlines are only slightly off-based. Politicized against me, sure, but not always wrong. Name your valor. Name your vice. Name your villainy or virtue, and I can assure you, it all leads here. It all starts here. It all stops here. The streets of home. Thank you. I hope you folks enjoyed that. Just a quick time check. Great. I can fit in these last two poems. The second to last poem is entitled Imperium. I hope you folks are enjoying, because I am. This has been the best part of my day easily. Imperium. I heard the word could raise an army. I heard that All the idioms and juxtapositions between pens and swords were bullshit. I once watched in awe while a poet raised a legion in my veins with a poem that you could swear knew everything there was to know about deadly edges and cold truths, and yet, with every slash and lunge of her weapon, she stitched me into a soldier. My blood, the temperature of belief, her cadence proof that griots and generals, her cadence proof, excuse me, that generals and griots carried the same fully loaded clips, and since then I've been convinced that between my lips I hold the power to make or break earth, that with the might of my own will I could do wild shit like order a hurricane to stand still, could make a corpse of a caring heart, can make soldiers of mortal souls, can make martyrs of those dying for something to believe in. I suggest you incorporate terms like arsenal, warfare, and never surrender from now on when you speak to me of poems. Fighting is the only formation most of my stanzas has ever known. Listen close to the meter, and in every line you can hear a different city under siege. I mean, so much civil war, suicide, and strife within these binds that rumor has it you can find my next collection of poems in the obituaries. Scary, the thought. Horrifying, the reality. Pen, sword, bullet, or tongue, either the case. The blood is still red. The casket and the dearth are both cold, and the thirst for bone and glory is still all that will forever remain eternal. That is Imperium. And this very last poem, short poem, is entitled Snap. I am inevitable, said the monster. I am the future you cannot escape. Look at me, see me draped in dazzling metals and precious stones. Look at me, gaze upon this throne. I intend to sit upon the heap of ashes that was once a world you loved. I said, look at me. Your powers of persuasion will fail you here. No matters of space nor time will mend the reality that fate has had his mind made up. I have had my mind made up. You may acknowledge me by whatever name you might. Fear me not, for as sooner or later the night finally catches us all. The only question that remains is who mourns the souls that don't survive the middle passage? What comfort can be provided to those among you unworthy of even the dust that proceeds my snap? And that's the Rubicon. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Thank you. This, like you said, this has been, the highlights here. This has been the highlight of my week. So
Oh man, yeah.
It's been a blast having everyone here. It's been a blast getting to see everyone here. Like, what a wild and amazing show we've had so far.
For sure.
I got a question for you though.
Oh, please shoot.
So people ask in the chat, people ask in general, what's going on in your life? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Oh, great. So just being Rosaru is the microwave answer, right? But so really a couple of cool updates. April is really important. Naturally, it's National Poetry Month, and so it's always my favorite time of the year because it's high season for us poets and artists. And so first and foremost, I'm looking forward to just enjoying being a fan and lover and connoisseur of the art of the craft. And I'll be seeing many of the poets who are right here joining us tonight and watching many of the amazing things that they've got going on. On April the 9th, Saturday, April the 9th, I'm going to be performing alongside two other poets at Millburn Public Library. My books, The Rubicon and The Book of Haru, will be on sale. That's 3 p.m. on Sunday or Saturday, April the 9th. And then what I'm really excited about is, and I also produce a creative writing and performance fusion event called Rhythm and Words Creative Writing. In fact, some of the writers of the consistent writers of the workshop have been here with us tonight. Shout out to the fantastic, amazing Amira, along with the thousands of things that she is. She's also one of the hugest contributors and writers to Rhythm and Words. So shout out to her. But Rhythm and Words will be relaunching and back here in the city of Newark. It will be Thursday, April 14th. You can find tickets to it in my Instagram bio, and then tonight it'll also be on my website. My website is just harutheross.com. And if you go up there, you can see what's happening with the workshop. with coming dates and performances and all that other good stuff, and the whole, roster, catalog, and collection. But yeah, April 9th, I will be at Milburn Library, and then April 14th, Thursday, I will be facilitating Rhythm and Words at the Newark Public Library. Anyone who's interested in being there, if you have any questions, curiosities, please reach out to me and ask me. I want to pack the entire ballroom, and so as many lovers and practitioners of poetry as we can have there, I'd love to see you all there. And again, the rest of everything that's happening is at harularouse.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Sam. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. All right. So with that, we are done with our features. It has been amazing. Thank you to Atoris Renee, Jules with a Z, Amira Shabazz Bilal, and of course Ross Haru for all being here. And we're going to jump right into our open mic in a second. If you, for some reason, cannot get into our open mic, if for some reason you can't find your way to the backstage, let us know in the comments, and I will personally send you the link so you can join us. Quick updates, like I said, we got a lot of amazing stuff coming up for Second Run Arts. We've got a interview with Dr. Hudson Bivens on the 17th. We've got another live from the living room on the 23rd. We are currently working on getting people together to join our new poetry workshop, Hatchets and Haikus, a evening of hatchet and axe throwing and poetry writing. And if you're interested, just let us know. And we've got Sarah's monthly book club, which is currently going to be meeting on the 20th and is reading On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. And with that said, let us go right into our open mic. We've got at least one reader. We'll see if something changes, but we got at least one. Welcome to the stage, Florence.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Quick little note. I apologize for blood on me. My child has had a nosebleed, and I didn't realize how covered I am.
So take it away.
Thank you. So I want to say quickly, my mom is watching, and my friend EJ and hopefully my brother are also watching. So thank you both, all of three of you, for, thank you. So this one is kind of a long one. It's called Desensitization of a Nation. I wrote it not too long ago. I'm also going to be reading it tomorrow at the Poems for Ukraine open mic that I forget what her name is, but I will drop that later. So here we go. Bombs are being dropped on the innocents of the world, and no one seems to give a shit. We live in a mindset of nothing being taken seriously, and it's not due to immaturity. We are just desensitized. While children across the ocean are being ripped limb from limb, mothers and fathers and animals are being flung into a bloody mess across the walls they used to decorate with family pictures, their crowning achievements once in frames now reduced to dust, rubble. Extinction of a whole family line in a matter of seconds. While the world is falling apart, we are posting jokes about being drafted because what else can we do? Our leaders don't care about the state of the innocent in other countries because they don't even care for the innocents on our own soil. We are starved in ghettos, our mentally ill dropped in the middle of the night to Skid Row, where yes, they aren't in prison, but they might as well be. They aren't allowed to leave a place where the only life-furthering opportunity is selling your body for the equivalent of a granola bar. The nice white neighborhoods have one liquor store with wines and expensive taste, but I implore you to drive through the city blocks of my home and count how many you actually see. Using stereotypes of the poor and desolate to improve their businesses, but our country doesn't care. Our leaders don't care about the homeless children, the abused being misplaced. The whole country was sick and dying, and too many were more focused on harassing and murdering their neighbors of different colors. It's not that we don't care. We mourn for you. We want to help. We would lay down what we have to help, but we can't because we don't have anything left. We can't even fix what's wrong with our towns, let alone our state or country. We have no choice but to rely on the old white men and women who sit at the head of our tables and hope they make the right decisions for once. But how can we rely on them to take care of you, to fight for you? when they refuse to take care of the men and women who have fought for us. And that's all I got for tonight.
That's more than enough. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you for being what is going to end up being our only open micer. Someone please sign up for the open mic. We always get amazing posts and then it was like, I don't want to do the open mic.
I thought I was going to have to like fight for a spot tonight, honestly.
Honestly, I was really hopeful that like, you know, you were, because we have all these amazing people, but it's okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
Best night of my week, honestly.
Same. With that, thank you, and we will, I guess, end the show. This is weird. So, all right, we'll talk with you later. Okay.
Okay.
All right. With that said, it is the end of this evening. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our features, to Amira, to Jules with a Z, to Artorius Renee, to Rasaru, to Florence, to all of the people who've been watching at home, to anyone who could take the time to join us. It really means the world. Y'all have been amazing. My name is Sam Rubinstein. On behalf of all of Second Renaissance Arts, thank you. And wherever you are, thank you for being here. Good night.